Vegatus dear, and salutations to all YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be talking about quite a relatively serious topic. It's kind of a shit post, but alright, here we go. So first off, I want to start off with political commentary is exactly where my channel is going to go for a little bit, because there are some serious issues I would like to address that are above even all of my own opinions. And I've got facts to be able to back it up, but unfortunately that's going to make way for longer videos than I can be able to record on the software currently. So let's just get into starting to at least get things disclosed. So first of all, if we don't take action within our global warming issues on our planet, because the action we have to take is going to take about 20 years, if we don't do it within this 10-year limit, we will all die because of the facts that our government is too greedy with the fucking money and not caring about the people that are about to die, and they're probably going to be building their rocket ship to leave and go colonize another planet, leaving most of us behind to, die slowly. And I've got evidence to back that shit up. And I don't think it's that crazy at this point. It kind of makes sense. You had a population that needed somebody to have control. So they all collectively decided to create this one system where a small group of people get control. That small group of people uses the larger group of people that don't know what they're doing yet to be able to say, hey, we're going to do what's good for you by making this system. And then this system, which is, a current government system and stuff like this, has a bunch of other systems tied in with it, like the shadow government, but we don't really know about that yet. But basically, behind all that, we're going to have basic systems, like schoolings and government workers and doctors and policemen. Oh, wait, but we're going to give them a lot of power. We're going to give doctors the power to be able to kill people whenever they want to, basically. Cops to be able to do the same thing, but also jail people and ruin their entire lives. Along with landlords to be able to shut down people from being able to get housing whenever they absolutely need to. And etc. Basically, I could go on. Because if this world was really focused on trying to help an individual, things on helping individual people would be happening everywhere. The entire world would be contributing to the same thing exactly. And that is something we're going to have to do, regardless if we like it or not, very, very fucking soon. So let me start getting the ideology across, so that way you guys can actually see collectively, what we need to do. Because it's kind of absurd, alright? So one, thank God for Mr. Beast being there. But also, I'm kind of angry. You want to know why? Him and a handful of small other companies are trying to clean out the trash in our ocean when about, let's say, 76% of the world doesn't give a shit about it. Yeah. Fucked up, alright? So most of the day you see people dumping their hands out of their windows, dropping cans of garbage and shit like that. It doesn't even matter at this point, just any form of garbage. I see it all the time, and I think in my head, there's a crisis going on, why the fuck don't you care? Do you really think it's going to happen that quick? We have 50 years to take this over, so we better not, contribute to this right now, because we're making it worse every day we do so. And in fact, the fact that there's no action being taken against it is kind of scary. I'm only 18. I'm gonna be in my 50s when this planet dies. Or 60s, sorry. What the fuck? My hypotheses keep coming true. I'll say that right now. I feel like I dream, and when I wake up in the morning, the first thought that comes to my head usually is, the first thing that ends up coming true. For example, I'm gonna go back to that, the Kabul bombing. I woke up that morning, and the first thing I said is, tomorrow there's gonna be a massive bombing. I don't know what this dream was about, because I did have a dream during that night too, and it was just me watching the news, just from my bedroom, right here on my futon, kind of looking at my TV, just, what is this news? And I clicked on the video, and bam. Kabul bombing kills 233. No. In real life, it was just 95 people injured, and I think 8 died. I can't exactly recall at the moment. It was a little while ago. But basically, it kind of stuck out to me. I have an ability to be able to predict the future based on current events, and based on the way the current events don't get changed, and the amount of focus I put on these events, I can actually tell what's going to happen before it happens. I guess I'm a genius. That's cocky. That's really fucking cocky, but I'm sitting here building anti-gravity wells and anti-gravity technology in vehicles and stuff like that, getting us to be able to have technology and, biogenetics inside of our body to be able to get us more advanced than any species known to the goddamn race currently. And I'm not talking like microchips you put in your body. No, I'm talking about mixing with your DNA strands and actually changing up part of your DNA coding to make yourselves a lot like faster. Your neurons fire faster in your brain, so you think a lot quicker. Like good shit, I guess. What I mean by good is evolutionary without actually harming the physical body of every single individual one of us. And it's actually going to be helping us. Honestly, most foods in like countries like in places like America, capitalism is so bad to the point where they feed us shit food that's not healthy. They spray it with chemicals. It's mostly kind of processed, and we eat it. It has negative effects on our body because it's all processed, and which means it's not normal and natural for us. So our body goes through the process of trying to get rid of the, processing that's already gone through in the meat, and after a little while, it goes through, and bam, you got some stomach issues over a long time eating a specific type of food that you thought you would enjoy. Ah, sucks. Guess who didn't tell you about it? Your teachers, your doctors, the scientists, the people who created the food. They didn't put a label on it that warned you if you eat too much of it, this happens, etc., etc. Just in general, common decency that you think would be there for each individual human being, but big companies don't care about because they can actually, profit off of debts. Same with morgues. Definitely morgues and, doctors can definitely profit off of somebody because if you don't have Medicare, they're going to force you to pay either way. And even if you have Medicare, they're going to still try to force you to pay. Like, I'll use my mom for an example. I don't think I talked about this last video. And if I did, I'm bringing it up again because it is kind of a good point. How in the fuck can she ask for an x-ray and then have 3 doctors in a row say, oh, they never heard about it? That means the first doctor she asked didn't tell anybody about the x-ray or said she asked for an x-ray and she has Medicare. And they're all like, no, we can't help her. She needs to see what's wrong with her ribs. And you fuckers won't let her do that. Do I have to build an x-ray machine myself so that way I can be able to see what's wrong with my fucking shoulder here? So I can do a neurology scan, make sure my fucking brain isn't broken? Because I passed out last night from this COVID-19 being too thick in my bloodstream. I had it like duplicate for a little while there. 2 different times I've had COVID. You fucking doctors won't care. You want to pump me full of more vaccines. That's not going to help me. That's going to give me even more blood clots. How the fuck do you think that's going to help me? What the hell is wrong with you guys? Seriously. I'm so mad because you would think it's common knowledge. You guys have the PhD in these fields. And I'm able to disprove you. And I don't have a PhD. And I'm only 18. How in the fuck does this work? Well, it's fucking confusing, but I guess it's just wanting to actually help human beings. That's the difference between me and those people. I want to go into multiple different fields of college, all right? I'm going to go in there for a PhD in psychology, IT. I'm also going to be going in there for coding. I'm also going to be going in there for neurology, biology. I'm going to be trying to be a veterinarian. I don't think that's something I can get a college degree for. I don't recall. I also want to get it in what is it? PhD in what else? Fucking what else? I can't remember the name of it. There's just in general, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of fields I want to do in. I think there's about 14 total that I can recall right now. But in order to do that, I'd have to waste most of my fucking lifetime. When I already have the knowledge, and I can already do all the research to be able to do it on my phone. Just unfortunately, I don't have the processing power on the phone and the storage to be able to record for an entire 3-hour stream and just explain what's going on. It might even be a 14-hour stream because there's so much I have to talk about. This is just one point that I find is major right now as well. I'm kind of irritated that people like Travis Scott, up there on the stage watching people dancing on the ambulances coming in while watching all the crowd crush is like, oh, this is bumping, dude. People like my music. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm gonna keep singing, pump it up, guys, pump it up. And you watch all the people crowd crush and you start seeing them crush up together and you're still like, woo! Look at all the people dying for me, literally. Woohoo! It's like some fucking South Park shit and you deserve to go to jail. Literally. I don't got respect for people that do that shit. Fuck no. to me are just, most rich people are just slobs to me. In fact, most rich people that I've seen that are like popular on the media and shit like that are snobs. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing with their goddamn, PhDs and shit like that. And I say PhDs with quotes because yes, sometimes I can, get them. But if we had that thing recently where people were just able to pay their way and it became popular, obviously people have been doing that shit, and it doesn't help that the parents that are actually fucking intelligent raise stupid kids that just get inheritance and don't realize that their kids are actually dumb. It happens. But most of the rich people in today's society don't do anything. Like that song said, we are the nothing generation. We don't fucking do shit. We're not gonna do shit until all of us collectively can agree politics and money are two really bad things, and we need to start focusing more on the survival of every single individual being collectively, so that way we can start getting rid of people like pedophiles and rapists and, just like physical abusers and people who are like evil in those ways. And then we can start helping people that, are drug addicted, sex addicted, and bring those people into rehabilitation centers where they can get those things treated. People with severe psychological disorders actually get the treatments they need, because I know I've got a lot of disorders. In fact, I had to make up one. I know a lot about psychology enough that I had to make up one to be able to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. Basically, I'm schizoaffective, but it's not really a schizoaffective disorder. It's schizoattentive, because a schizoattentive is it comes from having a severe amount of post-traumatic stress disorder and having multiple different traumatic events happen one after another, after another, after another, repeatedly throughout a short lifespan. I've only been alive for 18 years, and I've had 13 traumatic things happen to me already. So I know a lot. I have to. Otherwise, I would have died 5 years ago. I would have committed suicide already. That happy, bubbly kid that you saw a couple years ago on the internet that was all memey, I wasn't really a smart kid, nor was I actually intelligent, nor was I actually a good kid. I'll be honest, I was into some fucked up shit that I'd be willing to disclose even more. But basically, there's a lot of psychological issues and neurological issues that people don't have awareness over. And because of that, there's so many issues evolved around that, and people are, pushed away from acknowledging it. It's unlikely that this would happen. Well, just because it's unlikely doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay? That's one thing. Also, the mountain of evidence I'm willing to go over to be able to prove it, I'm definitely willing to go over to be able to prove it right now, but unfortunately, again, that'd be a longer video than I can take. And I mean, there's multiple points, but I don't think all of them are going to be able to prove that point right there, because I'm all over the place right now with my brain, and it's hard to keep one point in mind. But basically, just in general, you kind of see what I'm saying. I'm getting irritated with the amount of stupid shit that the human race keeps doing. I don't even feel human anymore. I feel completely disattached from this reality, because I feel like I can look in, and I feel like kind of a god. I really do. I look in and I look at all of the things that are going on collectively throughout the human race, and I'm like, you guys collectively are focused more on money and politics, because we're forced to focus on money because of politics. No wonder why the human race is so stupid. Everybody wants money, and because of politics, everybody needs money, and because of the government system we created, everybody needs money. We don't need money. Money is killing our trees. Money is killing the environment. Money is killing us. Money is getting us to kill each other. Money is getting us to be stupid. There's many things that are wrong with this, and we don't have change for it. But I've got an idea. How about, for an example, we start allowing a thing where, let's say, everybody who has to live on food stamps and mostly has lived on food stamps for 10 years in a row, 8 years in a row, 7 years in a row, 6 years in a row, and 5 years in a row, and even 4 years in a row, they should be allowed to have, a vegetable garden. They should be legally allowed to grow crops, and they should have a manual on how to be able to take care of each individual vegetable, and legally they're allowed to have their crops replaced, and they have to have those crops so that way they can be able to have food. Of course, we're going to have to attend on them, but shit, they get free food. Plus, it's vegetables. They're actually healthy. Plus, vegetarians, I'm assuming, would actually be happy with that, and some people that are old would be like, hell yeah, get the younger generation on their hands and knees. I mean, yeah, but it's kind of because we have to. Our race hasn't moved away from survival, and we're treating it like we have. We still have things out there hunting us down that we don't even know about. Look at the 411 cases. I mean, Mr. Ballin's channel kind of goes a pretty good explanation over some of the things I'm talking about, especially since he's a military soldier. He's a Navy SEAL, and I was going to become a military soldier at one point. Specifically, I wanted to be an Abrams tanker, but I wanted to be a gunner and a driver. Didn't know which one I wanted to be. Specifically, I was going to be the loader. I was going to be the one to load in the shells. But then I also wanted to be the one to turn the gun and actually aim the mountlet of where I'm trying to get the cannon at, etc. I also wanted to be the one popping the smoke, looking through the thermals, etc. Just in general. I wanted to be in the military, but started off as rifleman and was like, okay, well, whatever, I've gone. I didn't actually get in. I should probably mention that right now instead of getting sued for false valor. But yeah, basically, my point is there. If anything cared about anything in this world, good things would be happening a lot more, and we wouldn't be seeing all these negative things happen. And again, I want to bring this point up because it just happened recently. That fucking tornado, 6 states, the entire tornado alley, dude. How? We've never had a tornado go through that many states before. That's fucking scary. And the fact that people are just rolling their eyes and it's like, whatever, global warming doesn't exist, it's fucking retarded. If you think that way, I'm not gonna hide it. You're retarded. I don't make money out of this channel. I can't get demonetized. I can't lose, things. I'm gonna call you stupid, and I'm gonna be upfront about it because I'm trying to be able to spread information, but unfortunately the only way to be able to spread information is by being harsh and direct. I mean, Trump did it, and he was a stupid idiot who flunked 4 businesses. Like, how did he even become president of the United States? Lauren Boebert, too. She got elected because she was hot, even though she's probably one of the ugliest middle-aged women I've ever seen. And she even has a militia. And I bet you on her free time she makes fun of, like, hunting down gay furries or something like that. I don't fucking know. At this point, those kind of people I have very low expectancies of anyway. And that's sad to say, but I haven't seen anything positive come out of them. And the only way that they're going to learn that is by hearing somebody, who used to take their side. Because I'll tell them right now, if you're one of those kind of people listening to this, because I would be aware that this video could spread and get popular at one point. If you are one of those Trumpists, all right, let's say, if you're not religious, not like the hardcore Christian believing that Trump is actually saving your country. Let's say you believe that Mexicans are taking over your country, taking over all of your jobs, and the reason why you're having a hard time getting any money is because even though you're donating to Donald Trump, you're still becoming poor, and it's because of these Mexicans. No, it's not because of these Mexicans, and it's not because of these blacks, it's because you're an idiot who didn't realize you wasted all of your money on a man who took it and ran. I'm sorry to say that up front, but if I was on a podium for the United States, I would be even directly pointing at these people, being like, you guys are being idiots right now. You need to take a second back. In fact, let me do this right now. Let me armchair, I guess, for an example, and let me pretend like I'm on the podium, right? I'm the president of the United States. Instead of those dumb questions like, what is the nuclear triad? First of all, fucking Donald Trump couldn't even answer that, and I know it's nuclear silos, warheads, and bombers. Stealth bombers. I can answer that. I'm 18. How is this 70? Oh my god, that faggot. I'm sorry. I'm gay. I get to use that word, okay? But still. How? That's my point. How? Just, man. I really don't understand the thinking that goes on behind most of these people. It's just irritating. I stand up for the world, but it's kind of hard to want to help the human race when I see all of them being this level of stupid. And let me continue on with my point, though. If I was on the podium of the United States, looking out at the masses of the thousands, I would be saying stuff along the lines of this, most likely rephrased and formed up to actually be, ready for everybody to hear, because this is my first take on doing it after practicing it for a little bit, because I want to be a president. But basically, oh yeah, I have to go to college for law school, that's one thing. But basically what I want to say is, we have, for a very, very long time, have been talking about wanting to have new technology. Well, why haven't we had that new technology? Well, here are a few reasons. Politics, greed, and money. We have an issue with psychology and not spreading the knowledge about the issues with greed. So that issue with greed becomes an issue because we don't acknowledge it, and those greedy people become the people who have the money. And those people who have the money because they're so greedy end up becoming the people in power. Because the people in power, who are also the people who have the money and are greedy, look at the people with money and greed and say, hey, you're actually smart. That's how you got that money. That's how you did it. You had a brain in your head. That's how you did it. You're a genius. That's how you have $1.8 billion. Also, may I mention that the top like people that are rich in this world, the top three, literally just three, not 3%, three, those three people are classified. We don't know them. What do they work for? Most likely some kind of under-government agency or something. I would assume. But that's all I can hypothesize about. Because they kept themselves disclosed. They have some form of NDA not to talk about it or anything. Most likely makes sense for those kind of businesses because they're pretty fucking shady. But I don't think any government employee should be allowed to hide themselves like that. Ever. You should be allowed to be able to expose your identity, but have the software to be able to protect yourself. Stuff like VPNs, military-grade encrypted software. If you guys are genuinely that concerned, you would be doing more stuff for your people, and it would be already proven with the words that I'm saying right now, and all the ways that I figured out how to counter all of your issues, basically, for big businesses and shit like that. Just, it's ridiculous that you even think of them as a big issue in the first place. It's like, first world problems, when you look at these third world countries. I mean, yeah, look at the third world countries, actually. Look at them. You have places like Somalia, starving children. I know how to get them food. But we also have to go over there. They have pirates now, stealing our carriers, our cargo carriers, from one place to another, because they believe that's the only way they can feed themselves. Just like the Afghanistans, or the Mujahideen, sorry. Just like the Mujahideen. We arm them up, and now they're angry at us for trying to take over the country for oil. We started that war. And no, we didn't finish it. But I will. And I'll do it with a peace treaty. And I'll do it trying to spread a message to these people saying, hey, you really don't need to be killing yourselves and these people and for all of your beliefs. You can literally believe in what you want to believe in without doing all these things. And if you believe doing all these things is something you have to do, then I guess war with you is definitely justified. If you're a type of person, let's say xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, anti-furry or weeaboo or whatever the fuck it is at this point, like anti-specific community, you're a fucking idiot. You're an imbecile, all right? I don't think you should be allowed to be called those terms because I believe they're used as excuses. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you should be allowed to go out there and harass them because it's a psychological disorder. Black people, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, here's the thing. White people apparently have this undercover and not really known past where if they want to be racist, they can claim it on their xenophobia and homophobia and transphobia and shit like that. But how I know about this? I mean, did you guys even know that if you live in California, there's a law that's actually dedicated to making you guys basically $400 less per inch of your skin for any mortgage property that you're doing? So, like, if let's say you have this really nice trailer house, all right? It was built a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, and it was, since it's a trailer house, it's not going to be that much. It's 130 grand because you actually managed to keep the property and everything, and you're selling both at the same time, right? The government would say just because you're black, you're going to be only selling it for 100. Well, the white person is going to sell it. They're going to be able to go for 200K. They're going to be able to rip people off. They're allowed to. But as soon as you show a sign that you're going to do that, no, you go to jail. Fuck no. That's stupid. I hate it too. I hate the fact that it happens to you because right now, if it happens to you, it's happening to me. I'm a homosexual. I'm gay. I'm a furry. I have a lot of things that those kind of people hate. And because of that, specifically, those people would love to target me. I wouldn't be surprised if one day I had a bunch of people wearing that weird anti-furry flag walked up and started acting and speaking German. I'd look at them and be like, Willkommen, Schlampe Arsch, Mutterficken Nazis. Okay, so oder so. Sie haben meine Aufmerksamkeit. Und warum? Just, you know, conversation. Why the fuck are you doing this? What's the point? It's stupid. You want to shoot me dead? Why? I've got the same knowledge. In fact, this is pity. Well, not pity, but this is cocky is what I meant to say. But I know more about tanks than some tankers do. Like actual fucking tankers. But again, I was going to be a tanker. I decided to research that information so that way I would be able to do it. I mean, you pull the lever back, you get the shell out, you put it back in the casing, which is a wet stowage, you put the next one in, you push the boy in, then close the hatch, and then you go to the other side. If you have an old tank, you'd reel the little turn. This is right, this one's left, this is up. Nope, this is down, this is up. Why did I do it backwards? I don't know, because I'm confused right now, but point being, tank, you're inside of the tank, here's the cannon, you could fire the cannon by stepping on a pedal. I think there's some that are button pressed, but those are relatively modern, I believe. But, etc. Point still there. I understand about tanks, but that's just one thing, right? Well, what about the ricochet angle? What about the correct time to pop smoke? Oh, what about the smoke? What about putting flares inside of our smoke? Kind of like helicopters have when they try to like throw away heat missiles. We could do that to be able to distract thermal sights, but we don't do that. We don't have it in our tanks. It's as if the people that are in control like to build this military service that's based around politics, so that way they can watch us fight for our politics and die in the dumbest ways. Give us technology that we get to experiment with, but die while experimenting with. Hot take. I know. A really hot take. But because I've believed I got so much evidence on it, I'm willing to go over all the evidence. It's just a longer video than what I'm posting right now. So, I guess because of this video, I'm going to end it off right here. It's hitting the 30-minute mark, longer than I really wanted it to be. I wanted it to be 15 minutes, but still, I have a lot to say, and that's my point. I can keep rambling on. I've been going through a lot of physical issues recently. After COVID-19, I've been having a really hard time breathing. I've been having a really hard time getting oxygen to my head, so I become really nauseous and dizzy sometimes, and I pass out. That happened to me once today, or not today, yesterday, and I basically fractured my collarbone in a small place, and I actually smacked the side of my head on the ground because it was a blackout moment. I couldn't stop myself from falling. So I'm in a lot of pain. But fuck, if the doctors cared, I wouldn't even have this issue. When I first got that shot, they would have taken care of me. They would have been like, why did you pass out? Instead of, oh, this happens sometimes. Why does it happen sometimes? Tell me. Fucking tell me. I asked you, and you're saying this happens sometimes. Tell me why. Why? Why do I have to research every splintilla of evidence? Why do I have to research everything to make sure I have the knowledge? I can't fucking trust a doctor anymore. And they have a PhD. I don't have shit. And I can't trust a guy with a PhD. Let alone a politician. Where the fuck am I supposed to get my information from? And I think that's going to kind of leave it at the end of the rant, guys. If you like the video, just like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll see you in the next one. It's going to be a lot easier for the next one because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Minecraft survival series, but I don't know. Just those series I haven't been able to take off, mostly because the recording is really hard to do and kind of hard to want to stick with when it's just a blanket and a phone. But I guess for now I'm going to do commentary. So, if you guys like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll see you in the next one. Salutations to all, and may you bring peace and find peace in the domain.